Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a scenario in which Indonesia makes an empire. So I'm going to be trying to make one of these every day or every other day. I'm still doing the country empires, so continue to leave the comments. Just that I've caught up on most of them, so there aren't as many I have to do. Argentina coming soon, Pakistan coming soon. But today our country of focus is Indonesia. And let's begin with our first declaration of war on the country of Papua New Guinea. Here, once again, I'm pretty sure, oh my god, I don't even know. But yeah, no. Papua New Guinea and Indonesia are not going to be going to war. And this is not going to be very difficult for the country, as Papua New Guinea is a relatively weak country. A lot of it's actually just tribes up here in the north. And yeah, Indonesia's gonna have some fun pushing into southern Papua New Guinea. They capture the capital. Should I even try and say it? Port Moresby. That's my best pronunciation. I probably said it wrong. It's fine. But after capturing all of southern Papua New Guinea, the government officially surrenders. And although Indonesia has to push in a bit more to capture enough of the country to call it a win, the government had surrendered a little while ago. With that, Indonesia's just going to go ahead and annex the entirety of the island. They basically see it as free land. Any country, except for the random islands surrounding them, could have defeated Papua New Guinea. Honestly, though, it is a very diverse country, so I don't know how you'd, integrate all of it. They have a lot of, languages and cultures in them. As I said, a lot of different indigenous tribes in the north. So yeah, how would they integrate this? No idea. Are they doing it? Yes, because this is Indonesia's empire. With that, they annex the Solomon Islands and continue to push down into some other Pacific islands. They take Fiji, they take the Solomon Islands, and they just continue to push around into Tuvalu, etc., etc. Would these be probably at the bottom of the ocean by now? Probably. Will they not be here? No, they won't. With that, their next war is going to go ahead and be their most difficult yet on Malaysia, and as with most of my empires, they also declare on Brunei and Singapore in the process. As why not get another two countries out of the way while you're doing it? With that, they push into the Borneo part of Malaysia, capture all of Brunei. After capturing their capital, that shall not be said, and all of the Borneo part of Malaysia is captured. With that, a small amount of island hopping, just one large island, and a landing is made right off the coast of Sumatra, capturing Singapore and a lot of southern Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur, the Battle of Kuala Lumpur happens, ending in an Indonesian victory. And after pushing around a bit more, all three countries surrender. Which here, Indonesia is gonna really start to invest into military. In real life, they're doing fine on it, but they have a very large population of 230 million, I think. Fourth largest in the world, right behind, no, actually it's higher than that, 260. Around there, I don't know the exact number, it's in the 200 million, so. They are fourth, right behind the USA. With this new land, by the end of this, they'll most likely be either third or second or first. Although honestly, India and China's population are so close, if you're gonna be on top of them, I doubt you'd be right in the middle. The chance, the odds of that are very low. With that though, this new Indonesian empire is already incredibly powerful, and they're starting to look like a global minor power with semi-influence over their own region. They declare war on the Philippines though, hoping to change that and change their title to a global power. As they declare war, they begin island hopping, as Indonesia's investing heavily into their economy, investing heavily into their military, and even more heavily into infrastructure. We're assuming that way too much is going right for the country here. In real life, they have some issues with poverty and whatnot. All the issues that you'd expect from high population, especially around here, with cities literally sinking from the poor people having to take water out of the ground. Yeah, that really tells it, but by now they've fixed their economy. They fixed everything and they are becoming a global power fast. This is shown as their military is absolutely obliterating any Filipino defense that's being put up, and island hoppings are going incredibly successfully. They continue to push up north until they make a landing on the main, northern island of the Philippines. Manila is captured, and the Philippines surrender. So yeah, with that, Indonesia's gained another 100 million people, actually more than 100 million people. Right now, probably above the USA already, in third place with population. And they are an Asian oceanic country with a lot of islands in Oceania, but also a good amount of land in Asia. This is going to continue to be shown as Indonesia begins their invasion of Southeast Asia, as they declare war on Thailand. And honestly, it's not going to be the same as when an Eastern or Western country makes an empire, as their alliances are formed up to attempt to blockade the country or do stuff like that. For Indonesia, they're not having many issues with that, as in the beginning especially, nobody saw them as a huge threat, but as they expand, both sides are trying to get Indonesia on their side, as they would be a very big help to whatever side they choose. With that, they begin their invasion of Thailand, as they're using this kind of middle ground to their advantage, with neither side wanting to make an alliance against them, seeing as that would mean that Indonesia would join their enemies, and that would be terrible for them. Once again, hugely in Indonesia's, that's helping them expand a lot, with no issues, just declaring one-on-ones on different countries. This continues with their declaration of war in Myanmar. Honestly, yeah, Indonesia's just absolutely destroying them. Alright, yeah. Indonesia begins to push up into the Burmese panhandle, and after pushing around the coast, it's really not looking good for any of these countries. The main word around is now go to war with Indonesia if you're in Southeast Asia and die. With that, Myanmar surrenders and is just like all these other countries, being fully annexed by the Indonesians. And yeah, wow, Indonesia is growing incredibly quickly. Their economy, as I said, they are fixing it incredibly well. Apparently they got really lucky, elected a really good leader, and everything's going great. Are we assuming this? Yes. It is their empire, so we're gonna go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt. After taking over Myanmar, they decide that it's time for all of Southeast Asia to bow to their Indonesian overlords, as they declare war on Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. With that, they begin to push into all the countries, and the same thing that saved them earlier is saving them now, with neither the West nor the East wanting to make an alliance against them or help any countries, as it would lead Indonesia to join the other side. And Indonesia is now a very good ally to have, to say the least. They push across and cut the blue team into two, and after pushing around a bit more honestly, even Vietnam, they're a pretty strong country. They don't stand a chance against Indonesia here. They're just very powerful. With that, they continue to push into the blue team until Ho Chi Minh City is captured, and they all surrender. With that, though, they're now planning their final bigger war that's finally going to decide their side and expand them even more, as this is going to be huge for them. And just, yeah. With that, their options now to expand are into Australia, New Zealand, India, or China. And I think Indonesia sees a very good opportunity for the future and for right now here, in a way that they can get multiple of those countries, which would normally be hard. In this world, with all their strength, they still can't beat China or India. They could defeat Bangladesh. Actually, they will be doing that, as that is a huge amount of population. Over about the same. Actually, yeah, there are just so many people over here in Bangladesh. There are actually more people in this little country right here, Bangladesh, than in the entirety of Russia, the largest country in the world. So yeah, that's definitely going to help towards their goal. After capturing Dhaka, arguably one of the most densely populated cities in the world, if not the most densely populated city in the world. Yeah, just insane population here. They annex all of Bangladesh and now finally choose their side here, which is going to be a bit of, I guess you could call it a land exchange. Well, no, actually, first things first, and although that's a bit border gore-ish, they're going to make basically an agreement with the West. This is that future agreement I was talking about, where they want to take over Australia and New Zealand. So they do a few things to do this. First things first, they stage coups in both the countries to turn them communist and against the USA and all of their allies, as Indonesia could beat Australia, could beat New Zealand here, but if the US, the UK, all of those countries join in, they would not win. To solve this, as I said, Indonesia stages a coup. This goes surprisingly well, and with that, they also make a deal with the USA. Hey, don't join in, help me. If you help me, USA, I'll officially join your side, as they have decided, hey, maybe we can sort something out with India, but it would be better to eventually go to war with China and get land out of that. With that, they make a landing in northern Australia, and if you didn't know, all over here it's just the Australian outback, pretty much like the Sahara Desert, and Indonesia sticks to the coast. Sydney is captured along with Canberra, the capital, and they push just, a bit more across. They make another landing over here in Western Australia, capturing any other important lands that the country could have, and Australia surrenders. But before that can happen, they also make a landing in New Zealand, capturing Auckland, capturing Wellington, and the country surrenders. With that, all of the blue team is now Indonesian, and just all of it is fully annexed. With that, Indonesia's plan is pretty much put into action, as they make a deal with India where they lose some land, and they gain some land because this is border gore-ish. Nobody wants to see this in the world. That includes losing a good amount of Bangladesh in return for a fair amount of India. So yeah, was that worth it for them? Maybe, maybe not. This is less densely populated, but it is more land. Consider it what you might. It fixes the borders, and oh my god, I don't care. Obviously it would cause problems in real life. There are some cultural differences, definitely, from Bangladesh to India. But here, you know what? We're just going to be ignoring that because it helps Indonesia out. That would actually make it so that there wasn't a problem with Indonesia having Bangladesh. India having it, definitely a problem. Pakistanis, very mad, but your empire is coming soon, just wait. With that, Indonesia is allied with the USA and is considered a very powerful world country. Their empire is done. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.